G'day listeners, welcome to what we're calling edition 1 of Bar Karaoke, the sailing podcast. Last week was our pilot, our test run, and it went really well. We're pretty touched with the amazing response we've had. We're grateful that you have joined us and you've found us, and we're continuing on. So joining me as usual, my good friends Brett Perry.
G'day, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. Last week was quite a good response, I've got to say. I was quite impressed.
Yeah, good work. And my other good mate, Nick Bice. How are you, bud?
Bom dia, amigo. Bom dia.
Somebody's in Portugal, I can tell. Bicey, let's start with you, my friend. What caught your eye this week?
Well, it's been a big week. A lot of yachting going on, but what really caught my eye is the first official entry for the ocean race by Boris Herrmann. Obviously having a tilt on the Vendée this coming up, and then rolling straight into the ocean race, which is super exciting. Great to see some action going on over in that part of the world.
Yeah, we've got a lot of love for the ocean race. I've got a bit of love for Boris, and we've actually got him on the phone. So let's have a chat and see what's going on. Boris, you there, my friend?
Yeah, hello, guys. Thanks for having me today. And ask me everything you want.
All right, well, we'll all...
Can I ask the first question, Boris?
Sure, go ahead.
How are you going to understand 3 Aussies? Do you need a translator?
Yeah, you have a really nice accent. I enjoy hearing that. I have some very good memories of Australia myself.
Good man. Hey, congratulations on being the first entry, mate. You've had a big dip in the toe in the water there. You're going to do the Vendée and then roll straight into doing the ocean race. My first question is, you've got a boat currently. It's a 2015 design. It's a Verdier design, Militia. Is that the boat you're going around in? Is that what's going on, or are you building a new boat?
No, we are not planning to build a new boat. We're really happy with our Militia. It is a very well optimized and state-of-the-art. And a lot of the development going on is in the foils. So that, of course, is something we can look into. We have to look into to update. But the boat itself is a great platform to work with.
And Boris, you say that a lot of the technology is in the foils. Are you working internally on that, or you're working with the team from Guillaume Verdier's office?
No, we don't have our own design team. So that's a privilege only some of the very big teams have. We are not one of the big teams at the moment. We want to become bigger, and we're working on it. But at the moment, we just in discussions with both VPLP and Guillaume, keep a very close eye on what the competitors do, and we stay a little bit opportunistic. We step back, and we're going to look at what the others bring out with the new builds this year, and how this is going to work. So I'm not even sure to update this for the Vendée. I rather keep the boat as it is, because I know it's 100% reliable right now. But definitely for the ocean race, then we know more, and then an update at a later stage makes absolute sense.
Okay. So you've put some thought into it. The obvious question then becomes, just in terms of saying you're not one of the bigger teams, are you fully funded? Are you still hunting sponsors?
Yes, definitely. I think we can offer great opportunities for partners. At the same time being funded, we're definitely going to the Vendée to do, and so we would welcome companies to help us get better and be stronger, and also to look together into the future with the ocean race.
Yeah, Boris at BP here in Sydney. Would Bar Karaoke look good on the side of the boat, mate?
We don't have the money, Boris.
What we're at? Sorry, I didn't.
He's just talking about Bar Karaoke, our podcast. That's what we call the podcast. So
Yeah. Sure, please.
You could do it. We can do a cross live to you as you're going, mate. That'd be pretty cool.
Of course.
So, Boris, whilst we're on the commercial side of things, I noticed and I've enjoyed watching what you've been doing in the last 12 months or so, and you're giving a big push towards the sustainability side as well, which commercially, hopefully that brings some more money to the table for you, so we can see you as a strong contender in the ocean race. It's obviously something pretty close to your heart. So do you mind expanding on the sustainability side a little?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I just give you a few comments on that side, what we're doing and why. I mean, we have been doing a few things naturally in the past, like 2016. We started Team Malizia together with the yacht club, and always kids from the school, the sailing school from the yacht club, came on our GC32, and then later on the Immocker. In 2017, we had 58 kids for a sail on board, and we were actually going decently fast with the Immocker, and we found out that it's we did that for fun at the beginning, really, and but we found out that it's something that we really liked and enjoyed to share with the youngsters, and that they were putting up really cool questions as well. So we came up with a rule for press conferences that no journalists are allowed to ask questions, only the kids. And that was one of Pierre Kasiaki's ideas at the time, and I had been always very interested in understanding more about climate change. Is it really that important? What can we do about it? How is it connected with the oceans? Can we actually see the changes or not while we are out there? I find there are much less animals when we sail offshore nowadays. Speaking with journalists since a long time, with scientists, I wanted to say, and then we came to understand that it's actually a great opportunity for the science community to have these boats going through the Southern Ocean and measure. And we had the great example from the last ocean race edition, and we basically contacted the same people and got the same lab on board, which we developed a little bit to be more optimized. And yeah, that's what we're doing in that area today. We're trying to help scientists to better understand climate change and to share those topics with the young generation.
Yeah, good work. Very good work. Mate, you're not a novice in the middle of the ocean. You have a red-hot go at going sailing, so done the Global Ocean Race in the Class 40, I think, and then the Barcelona World Race, and then you've got the Northeast Passage record, I think, from memory as well. So you're pretty comfortable out there in the middle of the ocean. Do you... I sort of remember you from dinghies, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, where's the passion from the ocean come from?
I grew up with my parents and mainly with my dad sailing a lot of double-handed cruising in the North Sea and in the Baltic, and they took me out at a very early age, and I really feel at home at sea, connected with the sea. I think to an ocean racer, there's two things: there's a seaman and there's a competitor. And I think definitely some people out there, they're really purely competitors and not seamen. And I think to really enjoy it, you have to be connected to the sea, a little bit like a seaman, and enjoying being at sea. And yeah, that's how I grew up. That led me to this connection.
Yeah, lovely.
So, Boris, from the North Sea to Monaco. Monaco's got a big history in what was the Whitbread with Grant Dalton and what have you. And it must have been pretty cool finishing the Duralia into Monaco. Are there any of the old guard around the Monaco Yacht Club that are going to help you get to the start line in good shape for the ocean race in 2021?
Yeah, of course. There's the old guard around. I think you mentioned Grant Dalton. He's a regular visitor, and the Secrétaire Général, the main manager, Bernard D'Alessandri, he is himself an accomplished offshore sailor, has done a few transatlantic races, and that's part of their DNA and the reason also why they're doing it. And it's quite spectacular if you think about it. I don't think there's any other yacht club backing a campaign to this extent and affording to have their own race boat at this level of racing for around the world event. So that's a really cool partnership, and it's really due to the members that are behind this project and helping to keep this going.
That's very cool. Hey, we know you're very short on time, so there's just one thing I wanted to just check out on the crewing side of things with the ocean race. Obviously, going from a single hander, you're going to have to add a few people. Have you thought about the crewing side of things yet?
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, sailing in teams is nothing strange to me. I've sailed a lot in teams, actually much more than solo or double. And I think 5 is a great team size. The spirit of sailing will be somewhere in between, like the French short-handed culture and some of the Volvo culture, probably. And I think for such an intense race, it would be ideal to pull together a squad of probably 10 people and 2 skippers, and then plan out turnovers and shifts. I mean, swap people between the legs and
cool.
and be fresh and motivated throughout the whole race.
Well planned. Boys, you got any other questions for our friend?
No, well, good at this end. It's good to hear you giving it a crack, and good luck to you.
Yeah, and best of luck, Boris. I mean, we've seen you get hold of that beautiful boat, and look forward to seeing what you can do, and best of luck, and look forward to seeing you out on the racetrack.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me, and talk soon.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Well, Matt.
Yeah, we all wish you well. So, Boris Herrmann, if there are any corporate sponsors out there listening in, you can contact us. Otherwise, just go to his website, Boris Herrmann. Just Google that. He's got a great website. He's done some amazing things, got books, got his whole story on there, talks about the boat, the whole thing. So, definitely worth an investigation, and we're right behind the guy. He's a great bloke. So, good on you, Boris.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Talk soon. Have a good day.
See you, mate. All right, Brett, my friend, we had a pretty exciting race over the weekend last weekend. Do you want to just is that what caught your eye?
Mate, I think it caught everyone's eye, the Bol d'Or Mirabaud in our best Australian accent. Love to know how that really is actually pronounced. But anyway, the Bol d'Or Mirabaud...
However you want it to be pronounced, mate.
Yeah, it's a race on Lake Geneva. For those who are uninitiated in it, it attracts a vast array of designs and a whole heap of boats. And to keep it in short, it caught our eye on Facebook with a horrendous storm that blew through and basically wiped out the fleet. It really was quite shocking to hear what happened. In short, there was actually one fatality, not on the race, but was actually just a pleasure boat that capsized, and there was another one inland with the tree falling over on a camper. So the storm was actually quite intense. It started off, they were looking at 35 knots. During the race, which was actually forecasted, and in the end it was actually said that it was up around the 80 knots. So quite intense, one would say.
So there's some footage and shots on our Facebook page just where you can see quite clearly the storm coming in. There's some really good footage, and you can see the storm coming in. Both a question to both you and Nick. Like when I looked at that footage, the first thing I saw when I saw that cloud is, geez, I'd have all my reefs in, and I'd have my jib down, and I'd be short sailed as much as I could. I've been through 2 of those storms, and I know exactly what was about to come as soon as I saw that cloud. I'm guessing it's the same for you two guys as well. I'll go with you first, Brett. Oh, Nick, sorry, go, mate.
Yeah, I guess it's the Lake Geneva equivalent of a southerly buster. But even worse, the good news was that it was in daylight, despite having 212 abatements out of the 460 competitors. It obviously decimated the fleet, which the southerly busters is known to do also. But luckily, they were in daylight. Imagine that's coming through in the middle of the night, and you don't really see it creeping up on you, which can happen in some of these offshore races. It's that's the scary part.
Yeah.
I think it's a different system as well when you're sailing on these lake regions. It can be sort of with the high and low pressure and the hot and cool air, and also what's known as a katabatic breeze, and can be actually influenced by the mountainous areas where it's actually a gravity fed system.
Yep.
And it's believed that that's sort of all mixed in together and created what it created. Now, in regards to how I would handle it, well, I'd just be dropping everything and sitting there and waiting. You know, you just trying to sail 80 knots, been there, done that, and it's not fun.
But I mean, you could see it coming, couldn't you? Like if you look at the video footage that we have on our Facebook page, you when you're looking at it, it looks quite calm, and this boat's just sailing along, and to me, as soon as I saw that cloud, I just thought, oh, geez, why aren't they pulling sail down? So, it was tough. In the news headlines, I saw it was a statement that it looked like a fireworks display with all the distress flares going off.
Yeah, I've never let it flare off in anger, and probably let the odd smoke flare off at a party now and then, but that could be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Let's also probably not forget that race, like as long as it's been going and the amount of people, it's the last year of the D35.
Yeah.
And then the new version will be on the racetrack next year and foiling. So, let's see what happens there.
I was actually going to make a comment to you about that, Bicey. We have a little bit of a past in that one. The whole idea of being out there in a 40-foot inshore foiling cat really doesn't excite me. In that stuff,
80 knots inshore, offshore doesn't matter. 80 knots is 80 knots.
Well, here's a bit of trivia for you guys. So, as you say, that's the last year of the D35s. The last big storm hit 16 years ago when it was the last year of the Formula 40s, which used to be the premier class for the event.
Ooh.
Hey?
Good research.
I'm all over it.
Gee, I'm gonna have to pick up my act. That was pretty. That was awesome. Look, it seems a bit of an omen, but it's maybe a little. Passing off. See you later, D35. Hello, next one.
Yeah. Well, just for the results-orientated, Lady Cat, powered by Spindrift, was the first boat home, a D35, in 10 hours, 36:21 seconds. So, and they did survive through that. With all the sails up. So, well played to them. They're obviously very talented sailors.
Absolutely. I mean, it's to actually finish a race in that situation is you've got to take your hats off, obviously.
Cool, boys. Anything else on that one? We're all happy?
Happy.
Always happy.
Always happy. Bit of news, lads. Let's just touch quickly on a few events that have been happening. Mini Fastnet, Bretto. That was a good one.
The Mini Fastnet. Yeah, it was. Minis are obviously got a place in my heart still. 84 starters in this 600-mile double-hander. So for those who don't really follow the class, is the 600 miles sailed with your best mate, and or not best mate, depending on how you want to look at it. Could be best mate at the start, but maybe not best mate at the end. I've done a couple of these long events like this double-handed. So. In short, Alex Trehin and our old mate Thomas Coville Got over the line first in the prototype division. Prototype being canning keels, carbon fibre, whatever you feel like building in it. No rules except size, height, and depth. Take it on. They got home across the line in good time. And you're going to have to. I'm going to have to use my Australian pronunciation here. Ambrogio Beccaria and Alberto Riva from Italy got home in the series division. Series being production with lots of strict rules and guidelines. So they've got home in first in series. All reports, it was a windy start to the race. With crews experiencing up to 17 knots, which these boats can do quite easily, even in the series division.
Yeah, in boat speed, you're talking, not wind speed?
Yeah, boat speed. So in that sort of, you'd be talking at 25 knots of wind speed. So they're able to fly along in those conditions. Unfortunately, well, it depends on how you look at it. The breeze died out as the race went on, and they all ended up pretty well drifting into the finish. So it's hard when it's windy, but I can tell you one thing: after 600 miles, it's hard when it's light trying to finish. I've been many a time in these boats stuck 10 miles from the finish, and 10 miles in 1 knot on a mini can be nearly a day.
Yeah, and you got a small esky too, so it's never that much fun. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then, of course, we saw the finish of stage 3 of the Figaro Solitaire. They've already started stage 4, so the final stage of this event that's going on. Anybody pay attention to that one?
I had a bit of a look at the guys, just due to the fact that it's such a popular class. It's a new class, as we mentioned last week.
Got a couple of friends in it.
Just see what's going on there. And currently completing stage 4. So we'll have all the final wrap up of that next week. As into what happened with those guys and girls. Yeah,
cool. I think Johan Rischholm is leading the way on overall time at the moment. Sail GP, off to New York, the United States, the Big Apple.
Yeah, taken out by the Aussies. The Japanese. So the Aussies dominating the top of the board.
Aussies first and second, wasn't it? Japan. Wasn't it?
Come on, there's some good Japanese guys on there.
Absolutely.
And we love the Japanese sailors. We've got a couple of good mates in Japan, I'll be honest. So
yeah, they looked pretty hectic when I was watching on Friday. The Poms tipped it in just before the start of play. So they didn't get out back on the start line till the following day. But that was had a few words to some of the boys over there. They were burning the midnight oil to get the wing back up and running, and they finally got back on the race course. And then, of course, we saw the guys from the US win a race, and that was not scripted at all. And I bet you Russell Pooch and Larry Ellison had nothing to do with that at all.
Oh, it's hard being a skeptic. Don't say things like that. The tip in by the Poms. Go, Bretta.
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to imagine the meeting. But no, we're not going to go there, are we?
No, we'll leave that alone. That tip in by the Poms was a beauty, wasn't it? Just a straight launch up off the foils and then nosediving it in. That would have been painful, actually.
Yeah, Wooshka. There she goes.
Wooshka.
Just holding on.
Yeah.
Glad they didn't bust her up too much more.
Alrighty. Another one that was of excitement to, it's interest to a lot of us. For me, it was of interest is the Star Worlds. These guys do, it's chock-a-block full of talent, this event.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine a boat over 100 years old design. Competed in its last Olympics in 2012, but like pretty stacked entry list. Yeah. Eric Doyle, Paul Kayard, ex-world champion Enrico Chieffi. We had Chooney there as well. Juan K, pretty still attracting a super fleet. And not a bad place to have it either in Porto-Cervo.
No, not at all. Beautiful.
Oh, lovely place to sail. Hey?
Yeah. So it was won by Matus Kuzniewicz, the Polish sailor, and God, we're so embarrassed, aren't we?
Can you do that again, please?
From now on, we only want to report on Aussie regattas so we can at least say their names.
And Bruno Prada, I can get that one. Actually, the first time those two sailed together, I believe. So that's a mighty effort. So, but both super talented sailors. So it was a great outcome. So that was a good one to watch. The Star Sailor League, they do some great TV or video or internet, on YouTube. You can actually watch some really good racing on that one. So I do quite enjoy the Stars. All right, Superyacht Cup. Anything we want to talk about there? It was a win in Palma, Mallorca, another fantastic place to hang out. Win-win.
Yeah, Superyacht Cup, who wouldn't mind hanging out in Palma, working for a super wealthy guy sitting on the side of his boat, eh? Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, been there, done that. All good.
Yep. I don't see a problem
you got to go left. You got to go left at Palma though. Got to go left. None of this right stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
but not dissimilar to just sitting on the side of the boat is we had also the 52 Super Series.
Yep.
But you're sitting on the side of the boat, just hiking like a man and lady possessed.
Yep.
But taken out by Prevetta, that first regatta win since 2017. A big change up to their crew list this year. John Cutler on the wood, and they are sitting top of the board after two regattas. Probably disappointing for Quantum, didn't finish off. Probably their worst regatta result for some time now. Then we had the Russian oil can, Gazprom up there as well, and a few things. So, yeah, pretty awesome fleet still. They've been going for quite a long time and continue to be one of the most dominating, one of the most recognisable fleets to be sailing in, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah, good work. You got anything else, Bretto, on the news front?
Oh, mate, not really on the international side. We've got a lot of stuff happening. In Australia, but we'll go to that a bit later on.
Yep. Okay. And Nick, you're good with all that. We saw something from Bertelli, but we haven't done our research, so we probably might keep, unless you've got anything on that.
No, just apart from, as a little teaser.
Yep.
We'll try and dig up as much info and as much dirt as we can on all the rumours going on in Cup World, including a little statement earlier this week from Bertelli, owner of the Luna Rossa team, that, just thinks these boats are too difficult.
Love it.
I think we all could have told him that.
But, yeah. We might even have a chat to Guillaume Verdier, because he was the guy that put the rule together, I think. So we could do a little bit of an America's Cup special maybe next week. Let's think about that one. All right.
What's the cup without controversy, eh? Let's dig it up.
Love it. Love it. All right, gentlemen, I have something for you. There's a little bit of an intro here, so just bear with me, all right? I've been discussing this idea for a while, and I want to put it out to the listeners. What I'm thinking about is a crowd-funded team for the ocean race, but it needs to have
Can I just stop you right there? No. Crowdfunding, it's a good subject in Australia at the moment, so be a little bit careful.
Yeah. I know who won't be on our team. Israel. Oh dear! If you're from overseas and you don't know about the Israel Folau story, it's probably worth a Google just to get some knowledge on it. And this is what I was just about to highlight there, Bossy. Your team, you can't just go for crowdfunding. It needs to have a purpose. There are plenty of environmental-based challenges. There has been much talk about female representation, but there is one group who have never felt the love. A group of people who have been maligned, abused and derided. They've been called the bastard stepchild. That's right. We want to put a team together for the redheads, the little orphan Annies, the carrot tops, the freckle faces, and the gingers, the Ginger Challenge. Everyone who crews on the boat, who works as part of the race team, will have a tinge of the ginge. It will be funded by gingers, supported by gingers, raced by gingers, and we will prove once and for all the gingers can't be beaten. Have we got a patron? Yes, Prince Harry. He doesn't know it yet, He doesn't know it yet, but he's in. Have we got a crew? Yes, Slingsby and Spithill are in. They don't know it yet, but they are definitely in. Have we got famous backers? Yes, Nicole Kidman, Isla Fisher, Seth Green, Michael Fassbender, Ron Howard, even Jessica Rabbit. They don't know it yet, but they're in. It's time to make it happen. So we're going to spread the word, and let's see if you want the Ginga Challenge. We'll go for feedback on our Facebook page, and you can call in and leave messages. But you boys, what do you think? The Ginga Challenge, does it have legs? Skinny white,
I'll tell you what,
freckly legs.
I'll tell you what, Jordan, you've got a tinge of ginge, eh?
I do. I'm on the fringe of the ginge.
I bet you couldn't wait till you got older to go grey. But,
I haven't gone grey, mate.
You blokes are kidding me. How on earth would a boat full of redheads get around the world without there being a solid punch-up on board?
Oh, the fiery redheads.
Solid punch-up in the bar. So, dude, seriously. The tinge on the fringe.
I'm feeling it. I'm hearing it. I'm seeing it.
Straight to the negativity. Straight to the negativity.
What you could do, we could get you sponsored by a bakery and you could call the boat the Gingerbread Men.
I was going with sunscreen. We're going to need a lot of sunscreen.
But what you could do is you can get on the bandwagon of the hashtag Red Mist. I noticed a few of the Red Mist slingers and Spitty are on that hashtag. So that could bring some money for you. And I'll watch from the sidelines. How's that sound?
I think.
Well, you don't have a chance, mate. But I can tell you, I've always called myself Auburn, but I can tell you that there is definitely a bit of ginger hanging around in certain areas.
Well, the Red Mist. The Red Mist, I reckon the old great Robbie Jewson, who is the skipper of that little vessel, will dye his head red just to get the opportunity. And you'd let him go through, wouldn't you? He's a bit of a talent.
Yeah, he needs hair, though, to dye.
He needs Oh, dear.
We'll just go straight for the wig. Straight for the wig.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, on this element, there could be... it could be a way of putting a team together, couldn't it? Like, you could crowd-fund it. If you could find something to focus on, and, obviously we're having a bit of a laugh with the ginger thing, but, or not. If people are interested, we'll pursue it. But, it just seems to me that it could be done. It really could.
I think probably the in this day and age and everything that's happening online, take it on. Give it a crack. Yeah. See what happens. Get some feedback. And then, if worst comes to worst, just take the whole campaign to Ireland.
I'm seeing bigger. I'm going down the fashion industry, the fashion side of things, and there's us, the bunch of gings in our sailing gear, walking up and down the aisle and showing ourselves off. I'm seeing this. This is getting big. It
could. See, the thing is, like, one of the things the Ocean Race does really well is the corporate stuff, I guess, where the backers get to bring all their people in and have really good, corporate days with their potential clients and so forth. It works really well. But in this instance, if you crowd-funded a boat, you wouldn't have to. So what you do is all the people that put in the funding will get to go out and go sailing on the boat. That's obviously the deal. You just do something like that. But, if the Ginga Challenge gets up, it'll be the village will be just chock-a-block full of the most beautiful people in the world.
Oh, God, here we go. Well, you're guaranteed to know which boat they're going to be on. Yeah. Oh, what boat are you saying? Oh, yeah, no, all good.
Yeah.
Way through down to the gingerbread man.
Don't need crew gear anymore, eh?
Oh, dear.
Look at that bloke. He's got red hair. Yeah, know where he is.
It's a laugh. All right, guys, that was a bit of fun. We might move on. We've got a debate. Cool or not? This is what we want to talk about, cool or not. For our listeners, we're going to talk about a little vessel called the Club Swan 36. We had a bit of a discussion about this behind the scenes, and we had a disagreement. So we thought, let's just put this out and see where you all stand. So the Club Swan 36, one designed by a good friend of our show, Juan K. designed to be fast, easy to handle, utilises a seaboard, one design rule, one main, 2 jibs, 1 kite, no accommodation. Icy, you love it, correct?
I just it passes the optical test. It looks sexy. I love the kind of that reverse sheer look that it's got. I love the the big bit of rake in the rig. I love the use of bringing foiling to the generations and the seaboard, something that we haven't really seen. I just think it is super cool. And I reckon if you got to sail on one, it's not your old Swan 36 S&S. This is this next step. This is what it's all about. I love it.
Love it. And so when you talk to 1K, hang on, Brett, hang on. When you talk to 1K, it's designed to be fast and easy to handle, all right? So that's his idea. The seaboard, you have to go and look at how it works. It's quite unique. Bretto, where do you stand on this one, mate?
Before you go on and say that I dislike it,
okay,
I'm going to actually make a comment here because I actually do like it. It's me I'm cool with it.
Okay.
The point that I brought up was something that was brought up to me a while back about the way the designs are going, and it was the Club Sailor, and one of the comments was, "I won't sail it if it's ugly." And this is the local club sailors saying this. So basically, there's a lot of people out there who are looking at these new designs and they're going, you know what? I'm not going to get on that boat, or I'm not going to sail that boat because it's ugly, performance or not. Now, we all know at our level where we're at with our sailing industry, it doesn't matter, what we do. We know that the hull form, the shapes, everything's happening for a reason. And we know that the Swan 36 is going to be a weapon. It's going to be great fun to sail and it's going to be everything. But there are people out there that just simply won't buy one because of what it looks like. Now, there was another example of this, and it's probably, I'd say the Swan 36 has got sharper lines and it looks neater than the other boat that did come out. And there was a Hollywood Boulevard came out. It's a boat in 40, and I think one of the comments was, it looks like it came out of the mold and just basically was still going off, and it all just it all just sagged away because it was all soft, and so you can imagine pulling a square boat out of a mold and all just going,
Yeah.
And so a lot of these owners have looked at that boat and they've got that in their mind when they see these new designs, and they just you can see them just. The amount of comments that were made about how ugly the boats are is quite astounding at club level.
Yeah. So you're just saying that the Joe Blow public don't love it. That's the boat, and we know the boat and designs are fast. We've seen quite a.
Yeah, quick. I mean, it was quick. I've sailed against it on a GP42, and the thing just is lit up. It is a weapon of a boat. There's no doubt about that. And and that's what we're talking about here. The Swan 36 is going to be a weapon of a boat.
Yeah.
But there's people who won't buy one just because of that reason.
I guess history is repeating itself maybe a little bit because let's face it, it's not in. The first new IOR boats were beautiful boats to look at and just lovely on the eye and beautiful lines, and then look where they ended up.
Yeah.
Equivalent to the IMS boats.
Well,
once again, they all started off looking pretty nice, and then the designers get hold of it and manipulate the rule so much to create what we're saying an ugly boat.
I love sailing with lead in the bilge and wooden keels, I can tell you that much.
Oh, dear, those are the days, weren't they? God.
Yeah, spinnaker pole in the water, boom in the water. Spinnaker pole in the water, boom in the water. Spinnaker pole in the boom, warm in the water. And on it goes until you eventually get it wrong and wipe out, one way or the other.
Kids these days, they don't know that joy.
Oh, yeah. Hoist the blooper.
All right. Okay, well, I'm going to go on the record. I love it. 1K, just, bud, we do. I think it looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. I reckon if someone said, here you go for a yacht, I'd be on it so quick you wouldn't even see me get on there. So love it.
So is it at this point we give it a cool tick or a not tick?
Oh, I don't know if we want to go down that pathway. We're not cool enough to make that decision, are we?
Yeah, not quite, but we'll keep building it. And I was just imagining just seeing the red flash jumping on that boat. That's all we would have seen.
Maybe the Ginger team should start off on a Swan 36. Jordan, what do you think? We'll start with that one.
Yeah, we can do anything. We'll go sailing. That's all I want to do.
It might be cheaper to buy a Volvo 65.
Yeah. Do you know any around, Bossy?
Yeah, got a few contacts.
I don't think there's any left, is there? They're all gone, aren't they?
Yeah, all gone.
All gone.
Maybe we'll do an ocean race special at some point.
We could. Well, yeah, we got a lot of inside stories. All righty. All right, listeners, it's all about you. We've discovered our name, Bar Karaoke, which is the action of describing your race with your hands in the bar after racing, has been confused by some, and they've been calling it Bar Karaoke, which we happen to love.
What, karaoke or the bar?
Bar Karaoke. Just the whole concept.
Anything with bar in it's pretty good.
Yep. So we've got a, if you want, just purely if you want, and you've had a good day sailing and you've had a quiet, friendly, and you're in a sociable mood in the bar later on, why don't you record yourself singing your favourite song and just stick it up on our Facebook page. I actually reckon we'll get 0 contributors to this because I just don't think anyone's got the courage to do it.
What's your go-to karaoke song, Jado?
I just straight out the door, mate. No one wants to hear me sing.
What song's that? Straight out the door.
Does that go? There's country and western. It's both types of music. Yeah,
both types of music. Yeah, right.
Probably worth a mention actually at this point, Brett, you who composed that beautiful guitar melodies prior to the show kicking off, and I've got to say, hats off. And we'll actually once we get the website up and running, if you want to get it out there, Bretto, we could publish that song on the site so people can have a listen to the full version.
It's still in me. It's when I was young, taking it on, I did actually think that there was a bit of Jim Morrison floating around in my brain somewhere, and it got dangerous there for a while. But no music for me.
Did everything Jim Morrison did, or?
Well, yeah, let's just say that it got dangerous. Look, this was my life's been strange like that. Growing up and doing everything like you normally do, and then all of a sudden you say, "I'm going to be a musician." Yeah, that sounds cool. So you go off and do that. And that was before I became a professional sailor. So, yeah, music is definitely a passion for me for sure. But karaoke wise, I like to keep it easy, just a bit of like Bohemian Rhapsody or something like that.
Oh my god!
I'm more Bangles, Eternal Flame. That's kind of my stuff.
Believe me, I couldn't do Bohemian Rhapsody if I tried. That guy's a freak.
Well, what we'll do is we'll write down, even if you don't want to record yourself, just send us what your song is, and Bretto will sing them all for you next week.
Oh, no, he won't.
Look, if you want to contact us, the easiest way at this stage is the Facebook page. Just come to Bar Karaoke on the Facebook page. If there's anything you want us to find out, that's a standing request. If you want us to find something out, we can access pretty much anywhere we feel in the sailing world, so we'll be able to find out the information that you're looking for. If you've got something of interest, and just give us some feedback. Let us know how we're going. Tell your friends. If you want to hear, pass the link on. We've got it all out there. So it's on the iTunes site. It's on Spotify. It's on all the normal places. It's not on the Google site. You have to be in the US or the UK to get it up, and we're not. We're based we're publishing out of Australia, in case you hadn't worked that out. We will have our website up fairly shortly, but that's the way to contact us. Cool.
Yeah, also, getting onto the Facebook, we'll respond as quickly as possible. But if there's anything, like as Jordan said, is there anything you really want us to hunt down, and being as let's say, how do you say it? Being in contact with there's a lot of people in this.
Oh, where'd you go?
Give us a yell.
Okay. All right.
Maybe as a bit of a code for you gangers, if you've got a question that you want answered by a ganger, just put the little emoji of the fire. That'll be just to make sure I don't answer it. And take it.
Oh, you can answer. You can answer. Oh, dear.
Just quickly to cap on that. For those who don't realise, you've probably worked it out. Jordan's got a tinge of ginge, I should say, and myself too.
Righto. All right, so around the grounds coming up this week. What are we got our eyes on? Bretto, what do you got your eyes on this week, my friend?
Well, I'm sort of pretty well based in Australia, Sydney here, and it's starting to. We're just sort of simmering down with the CYC of Australia Winter Series, and that's when all things get moving towards the Sydney to Gold Coast yacht race, of which I'm preparing a boat for that as well. So that's on July the 27th, I think the start is, and that's the race that takes us up to the Gold Coast, and then there's a bunch of races all the way up to the Whitsunday region, which is then obviously the famous Whitsunday Airlie Beach race week, and then Hamilton Island race week. So we've got a really solid period to look forward to over the next few weeks. So we'll keep you posted on that. Might even try and do some live crosses for some training and maybe even the start.
Yeah, good idea. Over 60 entrants in that one. I had a look at the entry list so far. No maxis on there yet, but plenty of hot offshore boats. The TP52 class, obviously chock-a-block, so that's where you're going, isn't it, Bretto?
Correct. Yeah. Well, we've actually got our hands on a TP for this race, and look, the race I've done 12 or so of this race, and it's a fantastic race. It can dish up two completely opposite options. One is a southerly can come through and can be usually quite quick race, or you can end up in very light northeasterlies in which you end up just banging off the beach the whole way up.
Yeah.
So it can go. It can be a 2-day race, or I remember on Secret Men's Business running out of food and having a can of baked beans and a butterscotch lolly each for the last day.
Lovely. Lovely. The nutritionists out there are just shaking their head.
And when I say a can of baked beans, that was not a can of baked beans each. That was one can of baked beans for the whole lot of us.
Lovely. Jeff Betcher's not very good on the provisioning.
Yeah. Here's your baked bean, Jordan. Nick, do you want yours now?
Yeah. All right, Kiel Week's on this week as well, the world's biggest sailing event. 23 different classes, the Olympic classes, the international classes, the offshore classes. It's a huge event, traditionally freezing cold, right up in the northern part of Germany, and they've had really nice weather so far. Anybody been paying any attention?
Not as much. Well, they've just kicked it off, so we'll start getting some results rolling in the next couple of days, and we can give a nice wrap up there. Probably won't go through all 23 classes, but definitely enough to keep some interest there. And I know traditionally it's been a big event for the Olympic classes, so we'll have a look at the entry list and see who's out there and giving it a red hot crack. They've
got the SAP analytics too, so if you want to watch from remotely. The analytics are pretty good. I've worked with them for quite a while, and if you just dial in, you can actually really understand what's going on utilising those analytics. So yeah, it's a pretty cool system. Finn Olympic reinstatement. So there's been quite the move, and obviously we talked about the World Masters last week, and then the Finns have been trying, and there's been lots of letters being sent to World Sailing. And the president of World Sailing, Kim Anderson, put an open letter out this week in response. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw what he wrote, and basically he said his hands were tied. So and he left. He got rid of any responsibility and said it was up to the committee, and that was the decision, and that's what they're sticking with. So I'm not sure how that's gone down in the Finn community, but I mean, he wasn't beaten around the bush, that's for sure.
Yeah, the proverbial hand pass, eh?
Proverbial hand pass. The Finn's out. There's just no two ways about it. It's out. There's a lot to talk about there. We're not sure we're allowed to say what we know, so we're not saying at the moment. We know quite a bit about the committee meetings, but we'll just sit on our hands on that one. The transatlantic race, excuse me, that starts That starts.
Yeah, so a series of starts beginning from the earliest of July, depending on what size boat you are, etc., etc. So one of the most awesome races to do. Jim Cooney got Comanche up there, going to take it on. They currently hold the record, so they'll be looking to equal or better that in this next edition. So group of Aussies look to dominate that race again. But we'll keep an eye on that one. And then, of course, you've got some of the beautiful old Santa Cruz 70s that have a bit of a trend going on in California now that they're kind of getting refitted back to their former glory, even their old paint jobs, etc. So visually always good, and just visually also as they're coming in through Diamond Head at the finishes, create some of the most iconic sailing shots that we'll ever see.
That just reminded me, actually, you said Santa Cruz 70. Mate of mine's just got himself a part share of a Santa Cruz 50 and is going over to do that race. I might see if I can catch up with him next week.
Oh, good idea. Good idea. I do look forward to seeing Comanche doing that transatlantic, just charging her, because that's what she's designed for. She is a spectacular boat in those sorts of conditions where just sail in front of position the boat in front of the weather system and charge. Be very exciting.
Yeah.
One last question, gentlemen. This is a big one. It might take us a good few hours to answer. We can do it in 2 words. How long will sailing last at the Olympics? Can we do this quickly, or should we just keep coming back to it?
Oh, no, it's a segment in itself almost. You look at all the correspondence, you listen to all the rumours, you see how the Olympics are driven and how much they rely on TV rights, etc. And it's a sport we all understand, but does anyone else?
Well, I do want to say because Kim Anderson obviously cops a lot of pressure with the Finns. The pressure comes down to him, from the IOC. So they're only allowed 10 medals, from my understanding, and a maximum of 350 people. So, and they're trying to put every type of class of sailing in to the Olympics. So it must be a tough thing to try and make it work, because no one's ever going to be happy.
The balance must be super hard to deal with, and there's smart guys in world sailing. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure they're going to keep driving and keep the idea of the sport in the back of their mind, but hopefully they don't forget about the grassroots side of things either.
Yeah.
And, I think that's the key. But whether that means the sailing stays in the Olympics, it's definitely there for now, but. Who knows? It can't be cheap either.
I think where they're really struggling is trying to work out how to handle the wind inside the stadium when they fill the stadium up with water to have people watching it. Because obviously the biggest issue we've got is spectators.
Yeah, the crowds go down. Crowds go down at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's a sport that is not able to have a grandstand to watch the sport, and that's part of it as well.
Have I not told you? Hang on. Have I not told you about my race course design that I've had in my head for 20 years that works perfectly for stadium racing? Vicey knows all about it.
It's funny you should say it, then we should have a chat, because I've actually got an idea as well. But anyway, we could start a business.
Yeah. Well. We just, for the laugh.
We could call it Ginger Incorporated or something.
Let's move on.
Maybe that's the reference to stadium sailing. Extreme sailing had a crack at that.
Yeah.
And, the Extreme 40 got phased out. The GC 32 came in with all the foiling evolution and kind of a bit of inside info. It wasn't exactly the move that got the spectators there, but it was a move that was happening in sailing and they had to do it. And unfortunately, the Extreme Sailing Series is now done and dusted, which is a big pity. But this week the GC 32 Worlds are on. Not sure what other events they have going on outside of that, but it's a pity to lose the Extreme Sailing Series. But I really hope they can come up with the right solutions and we can still keep talking about yachting and the Olympics for many, many years to come.
Yeah, well, it funds most of our sailing programs. So, let's just hope that is the case. Excellent. Gentlemen, I think that's us for this week. It's been absolutely hilarious and a ton of fun to hang out with you two again. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here for the listeners to joining Bar Karaoke. Anything you want to sign off with?
No, look forward to getting back down to Oz soon. So look forward to seeing all the comments come in. So please keep them coming, good and bad, and tell us what you want to listen to and hear about, and we'll give it our best.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Tell your friends and
no bad comments, please.
We're fragile.
So tell your friends and like our Facebook site. I just can't believe I just said that. I'm just like us. Hey, listen.
We'll be doing bikini shots next.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, just. And if there's anything like we all say, if you want us to find anything out, just pop on our Facebook site and let us know.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend or day or night, whenever you listen to it, and we'll speak to you next week.
Running at night, jet through the sea.